Hey guys, welcome back to another sit down video. It's been long. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for sticking by. So today I want to speak about my pregnancy journey and just compare the pros and cons of you becoming pregnant here on contract versus being at home, because that's one question that people have been asking me through the DM. Yeah, it seems a lot of you guys are really considering whether to have a baby back at home or as well as just to come and have a baby here, and some of you are pregnant and they don't know what to do. So I I'm gonna tackle that today. So if you're new here, welcome. On this channel I share my journey as a nurse who immigrated from their country to the US. Whether you come from whatever part of the world, as if you are migrating as a nurse here, I share my journey so that I can give light to what life is like as a nurse who has come from another country to the US. So today I'm gonna start with my own story, my own pregnancy story, because it's been long. I've been so inconsistent, and it's because pregnancy was really pregnancy. I was tired and I was working, so it was so hard to keep pumping out content as necessary. And right now I have a little baby, which is another work. So I have like 3 jobs. So yeah, but we're gonna do it and we are back. So let's get into it. So first of all, guys, if you are planning to become pregnant, however, whatever time it is, whether it's back at home or here, then kudos to you. Because for me, I never planned this. I once planned to become pregnant and it never happened. So when it happened, it took me by surprise. Initially, I wanted to have a baby before I came here, but I think I was just too stressed and it couldn't happen when I was going through the whole process of coming here. So yeah, so that's what happened. It was a surprise that God decided to surprise me with, and that was a nice surprise. I'll forever be thankful to God for that, for my little one. And yeah, so if you are planning to, we're gonna go through this video and I'm gonna compare because I've been taking care of pregnant women back at home. So I'm gonna compare the difference in the care that the pregnant people get here and back at home, and you're gonna decide and maybe just tackle the pros and cons of you becoming pregnant here when you are on contract. I'm actually talking about when you are on contract, because whether or not, if you are single, whether you are a married lady, you might come here and you still need to have babies. So I'm just talking about if you are on contract. I'm not talking about not to ever be pregnant in the US, no, because of course people get pregnant here and they give birth and they raise families. So I'm gonna talk about my pregnancy journey. So as I said, I never planned it. It was God's willing and God's surprise, which I'm thankful to. It's a big gift that God has given me this year. So someone asked me, did you tell your agency that you are pregnant? Yeah, because I had a story that someone told me that one person, not my agency but another agency, they kind of told them that they were pregnant when they just landed here and they terminated their contract, which I thought it was crazy. But yes, for me, once I found out that I was pregnant, I told my agency, because I was like, yeah, after all, they're gonna know, because when I give birth, they're not gonna see me going to work. So, or in case of anything, if I become sick, because pregnancy comes with all this, with everything, so you never know how your day will be tomorrow. So yes, I told them, and my agency is so graceful. They never faulted me for that. In fact, my support person really congratulated me, and they gave me a lot of advice. He's actually a man, but he's so knowledgeable, and I'm just grateful for that. So yeah, I told my agency, of course agencies don't like you to come here and be pregnant immediately, but because they're gonna lose money, well, some kinda, because you're gonna be at home not making money for them. And pregnancy is like, it is something that takes a toll on a woman, and you never know what the outcome is. So they don't want to run that risk of you not being physically fit to go to work and paying back whatever part of the contract that you signed, whatever part of your agreement. So yeah, but for me, I told my agency, and they were so receptive, and they were so supportive. So that was my agency's reaction. They were never like mad at me for conceiving, because yeah. Another person asked me, so how was your support system when you became pregnant? What about work? So for me, I can say that I had God sent angels that were surrounding me, because actually at first, because I was never expecting to be pregnant, I never knew that I was pregnant at first. I was kinda so sluggish, I was kinda sick, but I thought that it is work that is taking a toll on me. And I remember some time before I started being inconsistent on YouTube, I was just so tired most of the time. And I really thought it was work, but some of my colleagues actually were noticing it, and they were, in their heart, they thought I was pregnant. But you know, when people look at you and they think maybe there's something, but they are so afraid of telling you, because you know, society these days, you may tell someone they are pregnant and they are not, and you don't know what they are going through. Yeah, and they take offense. So no one told me, but they used to really take good care of me. They could help me make sure I don't do the heavy lifting at work. Yeah, so they could be there for me. They were there for me. And when I found out I was pregnant, I actually was told one of my colleague, because she's the one who came to me and asked me, are you okay? Well, she was straightforward, and she told me, you need to see if you are pregnant, because if you're feeling this and this, you might be pregnant. So I told her, and she took the initiative of telling the major people in our department, and they could make sure that I had the lighter patients, or if I have heavy patients, people will just be there to help me. They just made my life, I can say, a little easy, because of course nursing is just heavy anyway, but they made sure that I protect myself when I'm at work, so they could help me whichever way they can. And you can see when you can see from the last video that I did, they even threw a surprise baby shower for me, because I was like, I was so sure that I'm not gonna have a baby shower. It is something that I really wanted to have, It is something that I never envisioned, myself being pregnant and not giving myself a baby shower. But yeah, they could ask me, what do you gonna do a baby shower and all that, but by that time I was like, no, because I was kind of new here. I'm not gonna say that I was too new, but I was still figuring out things. And also financially, I wasn't there yet to have a party, just, yeah, because at the same time, having a baby here in the US is not cheap. So I was working and saving the last coin that I had, just to prepare myself for when I'm not gonna be working, and just to prepare for myself for when the baby will be here, and making sure that the baby will have whatever things that they need. So yeah, for me, I can say that I have the best team at work. They make sure that I'm okay, even when I'm in the house right now, after I gave birth, during labor, and after I gave birth. Even some of them, like, they came to see me, they made sure I'm comfortable, they helped me to the house, yeah, and they made sure that the baby has everything. I can say everything that the baby needs, they made sure that I had. And I also have a good big sisterhood support system from my Kenyan sisters who I met here. And yeah, they were there for me. They also threw me another surprise baby shower, literally the day that I went into labor. And they also have made sure that I am comfortable, that I'm well taken care of. So I can say that I had a good support system. But that may not be the case for someone else when they come here, because it depends on where you go and what people that you are with. So that is my experience. I had a good support system. I can say that as much as I was far away from home, God sent people to just be there for me when I really needed them. Because trust me, even if you're a nurse, being the first pregnancy for you, it is just as new as someone who has never been in the nursing field. Okay, so now I'm gonna start comparing being pregnant here and back at home. So I've never been pregnant back at home. I wasn't pregnant in Kenya, but I was taking care of pregnant women like every day. So I know what goes on if you are pregnant in Kenya, back at home, and here. So if this might apply to different countries, because I know most of the countries, especially in Africa, we kind of have the same system. So yeah, so the first comparison is, back at home we don't have a lot of antenatal visits. I tell you, here there are a lot of visits you're gonna make to the doctor, like a lot. So at home you'll have like the every month visit, unless your pregnancy is a complicated one. But here I had to go to the doctor's visits a million times. Not that my pregnancy was bad. Yes, it had kind of complications. I had gestational diabetes, but even then, even though it wasn't that bad, my sugar levels were always okay. But when they did my glucose tolerance test, I kept failing. So I failed twice, and they diagnosed me with gestational diabetes. So I was going to the doctor a lot. And it's not like I was like that when you feel sick and you go to the doctor. No, you're just okay, but they're gonna book you for appointments every single, like the last trimester I was going every week. It was so tiring. So yeah, back at home we have like a monthly visit and maybe every 2 weeks towards the end of pregnancy. But here, expect a lot of doctor's visits. Another comparison is you're gonna have a lot of tests. They're gonna take you, they're gonna, like every time I went to the doctor, they took my blood. Sometimes I didn't know even what they are looking for, but they took my blood and did their own tests. Yeah, I have a portal that I can see my results, but you know, here when you have a problem, they're gonna call you and tell you this is what the results are saying. And yeah, but most of the time I didn't even care, because most of the things I knew, well, I cannot say I knew, but I didn't really care to look at the results. But yeah, so they're gonna do a lot of tests on you. You see, those tests that we just hear, that we read in books, they're gonna do them here for the baby, for you. So be ready for that. Like even the ultrasound back at home is optional if you want to have an abdominal ultrasound or not, like the scan for the baby or not. But here they're gonna do ultrasound severally. So yeah, so just be ready for that. Another comparison, big one, is back at home you can find antenatal care and postnatal care totally free from the government facilities. But here you better have a health cover, you better have an insurance, because healthcare here is crazy. I'm gonna actually do a video and show you guys my bills throughout pregnancy. It is crazy. And even if you think of converting that money to the money back at home, you're gonna run mad. It's very, very expensive. So when you come here, whichever agency that you come with, yeah, make sure you have a health cover. It's very, very important. Yeah, and if you're planning to become pregnant, or maybe you have medical issues, please take the high plans. It may seem a lot